Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Hello and welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. This is our off-air podcast that we do 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
That's right.
You can check out our other podcasts, Miguel and Holly Full Show, Miguel and Holly's Blown Off. But make sure if you listen on the iHeartRadio app to slide Hits 96.1 into your number one preset, and then you can do all of our other podcasts so you never miss anything.
It's just easier. We're trying to make it easy for you by doing all that.
And we're trying to get kudos points from our work.
I mean,
so
yes,
that
both.
helps us a lot.
It's easy for you, and then it's easy for you to help us help you, and we're helping each other.
Absolutely. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
Holly, I forgot to tell you off the air.
Oh.
We have a special guest joining us in a couple of weeks. After our political talk the other day,
Yeah.
I was like, I want to talk to someone who has worked in politics, who deals with it on a daily basis, that can help give some guidance on how to navigate all the news that's coming out. And also, if you're more on the liberal side, what actionable things can you do? So we have former representative from South Carolina and CNN commentator Bakari Sellers, who lives here in Charlotte.
That's right. Didn't he comment on something?
He tweeted a blown off one time back in the day.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so I follow him on social media, and I'm a CNN, I used to be a CNN junkie all the time.
Yeah.
And he follows me on Instagram. And so yesterday I was at the barbershop waiting, and I was like, let me just reach out and say hi. Like, hey, help. So he was like, absolutely. So it'll be in a couple of weeks. We'll have him on a Friday. And he'll come on and be able to just, because he's in it,
Yes.
as a CNN commentator, as a former representative. So I'm super excited about that.
Me too. Listen, sometimes I'm not that excited about guests. I'm gonna be absolutely honest with you. Like, interviews are not my favorite thing. They're just not. And I wouldn't say that I don't like them.
Right.
It's just not my favorite thing.
Right.
But I'm excited about this one.
No, I totally get it. That's kind of why I want like my podcast to be interviews, because I love them. I love just digging down and just let's go. So we'll do that with him, and that'll be in a couple of weeks.
Great.
I wanted to continue the conversation that we had on the show this morning during Can't Let It Go, where I was talking about how Gen Z continuing to come for millennials.
Right.
And so this is the TikTok that I referenced during my Can't Let It Go this morning.
Hi, welcome in. Oh, no, we don't have appetizers. We have shareables. Also, no sandwiches. We have handhelds instead. Yeah, that burger will be $24.99. Do you want a side of Parmesan truffle fries? Yeah, those will be $12. We wrap it in a newspaper. We make it all nice. Yeah, we're just two guys with a crazy idea. Oh, no, we don't have ketchup. We have our special house sauce. It's called our banging sauce. It's really just Thousand Island. We're just two guys with a crazy idea. We're just two guys with a crazy idea. Parmesan truffle fries. Banging sauce. Banging sauce.
I'm sorry. That's so painfully accurate, which is why it's so funny. Like, I'm sorry. Truly, when did we start going from appetizers to shareables?
Right. Handhelds instead of sandwiches.
Handhelds. Like, I'm always just like the hubris of itself is just collapsing. Like, we thought we were so cool. Like, when we first were inventing these things, and like people our age were opening restaurants, and they had like, these $25 burgers and the shareables, and we're like, oh, look how fancy we are. Like, we're so much better than our boomer Gen X cohorts with our shareables. And now I'm just like, oh, get over yourselves. Like,
I know I'm going to share this meme here. This is one that was circulating around on TikTok. Obviously, if you're listening, you can't hear this, but you can see this if you're watching. But it's like the expensive burger place starter pack. And it has like the guy. Some of the memes I've seen, they always say the guy who's serving the burgers, the chef, looks like Jelly Roll.
Yes.
And then the walls either has the like chalk that you can write on, or it's brick walls.
Yeah.
And then it has like the little tea lights that they string.
It's like the backyard outdoor naked bulb lighting.
Which,
that's very, and I like it, by the way.
And this is why when I saw this, I was like, clearly when things hit you the most is because it's too close to home.
Right.
And I remember specifically years ago, Holly, remember we were in Panama City the second time, and I met a guy online, and I went to, I think, Birmingham, Alabama,
Oh my God. I
for like
forgot
a
about
weekend
that.
to meet this guy, and then like it didn't work out or whatever.
Was that the guy that was catfishing you?
No, that was another guy.
We've been through some shit.
Oh, yeah, that was another guy. Yeah, but like I remember because at that time in Panama City, we didn't have any places like that.
No.
And I remember going to Birmingham. So this was probably like 2011 or no, 2013. And I remember going to this burger spot with this guy, and they had like the tea lights and they had the menus. And I was like, this is living.
Yeah.
Why can't we have this in Panama City? Oh my goodness.
Right.
And then we moved to Tampa, back to Tampa, to St. Pete in 2013 or 2015. And the Avenue that just recently closed. And if you're a Charlottean, this is a burger spot in St. Pete where Holly and I were. That was like the antithesis of this right here.
It was the quintessential hipster, like burger place for people that were at that time in their like late 20s, early 30s. And it was just the spot.
Right.
Like it was that. And it had the brick wall. And it was just like, everyone that's here is so cool.
Right. The exposed ceiling, pipes up top.
Yeah.
Like, and then they have like the black aprons that they would wear on with like the black gloves as they're plating your food. And I'm like, why? That was so special. I remember
why you gotta point us out? Why you gonna call us out about that?
Because I'm like, we went from, in the 90s doing like the Chili's and the Applebee's and the Fridays to the very like gaudy, they remember in Fridays they used to have like all those pins and stuff on there.
God, the flare.
The flare, yes. We were trying to be like cooler than that.
Right. It was that sort of turned like the movie Office Space. Like that kind of turned into this like cartoonish, very like, this is so lame. And so then, I mean, it held up a really good place.
Right.
Like the millennials who were a lot younger, obviously, than we are now, were like, we're going to strip all this back. We're going to go very minimalistic, and it's going to be an elevated dining experience. So, of course, you're not going to have appetizers. You're going to have shareables. Of course, you're not going to have, like a sandwich. Your grandma had a sandwich. You're going to have
a
handheld. And it did give you that sense of like, oh, we are out to eat now. Instead of like when we were kids going out with our parents, we didn't want all that. Like we didn't want no greasy spoon diner with like, the same old plates. So the plates were like nice. Everything was plated differently. Like the Food Network came into existence and changed how everybody did things.
Right. And it just totally changed it. And so we felt like, oh my gosh, like I still get excited when I go to a restaurant and they serve their French fries in like one of these little like baskets, wire baskets.
I know it does make me feel like I'm eating special French fries.
Right. And I'm like, oh, they just didn't put it on the plate. They're put it in the basket. I feel so special and high class.
And there's like there's newspaper.
Right.
In the basket. Yeah.
So
they're coming for us with that. I mean, they're not wrong. Maybe it's run its course, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't awesome at the time.
Right. I loved it. Those, aughts, mid 2000s.
It was a great time.
Burger places. Now, this is where we didn't have time for this on the show this morning.
Okay.
There is this other Gen Zer who said, wait, hold on. Why are we always attacking?
Yeah, I've seen this actually. I saw this girl on TikTok and I was like, thank you.
Right? Hold on,
thank
let
you.
me make sure the audio will work with this one. And I'm like, thank God someone is coming to millennials' defenses.
Right. Somebody with some sense.
Listen to this girl.
Millennials are cooler than us. I hate to admit it, but like we're making fun of them for what their attachment to their childhood and truffle fries and Lumineers, like just like rustic millennial weddings and their aesthetic. Like they just have an aesthetic. Like it kind of aged badly, but like it wasn't a bad aesthetic. It was just their aesthetic. We're annoying. Gen Z is just annoying and out of touch. We're gonna be we're already so insufferable, but when we're older and we have like more we're so like the millennials, like they're unproblematic. They just have their aesthetics keep to themselves. They're just like Gen X. Like you kind of don't really even know anything about Gen X. Like they're like latchkey kids. The way that boomers are annoying, that's us. We're annoying as fuck.
Is also not wrong. And
Right.
I don't mean to like throw Gen Zers under the bus here because I do like them. And we were all excited because we're like, these are the ones that are going to save us.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of saving us, they were just as bitchy and opinionated as the fucking boomers that we finally like just left them alone because they were so obnoxious. And
Right.
then just to turn around and be like, you guys, we walked so you could run. And they're like, oh my God, like, who even are you? I'm probably not in that voice. I don't know
Right.
where that voice came from. But not only are they like wearing the same clothing that our grandparents wore, they're just as fucking annoying as our grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, Gen Z?
And it's so wild because I was like, well, maybe we were that annoying, but I don't remember it. But I distinctly remember when the OK Boomer thing came around.
Oh, yes.
And I remember having a topic on the show where I was like, I don't like that.
Right.
Because we're all going to get older and I don't want someone to be like, okay, millennial. So
Right.
even, and this was like probably 5 or 6 years ago, you know? So this was like before the pandemic. I remember having this conversation.
More than 5 or 6 years ago. This was probably like 7 years ago now.
Right. Because I remember our old producer, Scott, he bought a shirt that said, okay, Boomer.
Yes.
And I think we
so
did a topic about it. And I was like, I feel like that's an offensive shirt. Like, I don't like that. Because millennials, I feel like we are nicer. Like, we just want everybody to like have fun, to be accepted, kumbaya.
Right.
Like, was it Barney that made us nice? Like, what happened that made us so
what
like
it was. It was like we're like the last bastion of parents who didn't quite treat us right because they didn't know any better. And so like then we discovered therapy and we were like, hey guys,
right.
Hey, knock it off with the bullying. We're not gonna do that anymore.
Right.
We are gonna love everybody. And somehow we got trampled on for that. I don't know. But I agree with that because that's just ageist.
Right.
You're just being ageist. And I actually saw a guy at the gym who was an older gentleman. There's a lot of old dudes at my gym. But I saw a dude at the gym come up the stairs wearing a shirt that just said boomer. And I was like, okay, boomer. I appreciate you. I'm here for it.
Right.
Yeah. So yes. And I also feel like as soon as we started calling them boomers, that's when it became a derogatory term because they were the baby boomer generation. That's how it started. There was a baby boom after World War II. You know, it was this huge time of celebration and they were the love children of that. And so I don't know how they got to be where they are now, but it was just, yeah, that was rough.
On a very like side tangent, just boop, offshoot, just for your knowledge.
Oh, I like it for your knowledge.
There is a great podcast from NPR called Throughline, and they just did an episode about the healthcare system and how we got to where we are today. And it is super fascinating. So like back in the day when like FDR created Social Security, Medicaid, all the things that we have now, what they call the welfare state.
Right.
Part of that was supposed to be a national healthcare system.
Oh.
We were supposed to have it. But then the American Doctors Association, I think I may be getting that wrong. They didn't want that because they wanted doctors to be able to do it independently, because around this time is when Blue Cross was started. That was the first health insurance company. And so they were selling it independently. And then they started getting with employers to do it. And so they were lobbying FDR. They're like, listen, in Congress, you won't be able to get all these other things passed if you keep pushing for a national healthcare system. So he was like, well, I want to get these other things passed so people can, you know, be okay. So they dropped it. And then once he died and then Truman replaced him as president, he was like, this is the hill I'm going to die on as president. I'm going to make it happen. And then by this time, it had already steamrolled and they just kept blocking and blocking and blocking, and it totally got defeated. Super fascinating. It's the podcast is called Throughline from NPR. It was a good episode.
Okay, got that.
So sort of on par, and I'm sorry, I'm like speeding through everything because we have to go. We have a meeting that we get to. So I'm sort of like boop, going through real quick.
Okay.
There is another thing that has caused some controversy this week. There is a mom's hack teaching her daughter the alphabet slammed as disgusting and embarrassing.
Oh.
Because basically homegirl is teaching her daughter the alphabet with designer bags or designer brands.
I'm already annoyed.
Listen to this TikTok.
God, not
So you get the point. She's basically, there's some book where it has all of these,
the alphabet
designer
as design.
brand.
Instead of like A is for Apple and L
Hmm.
is for lion, it's like L is for Louis Vuitton.
And
Like,
so
come on.
some of the comments are, I feel like the Kardashians read this to their children. This is wrong in so many ways. It feels like you're indoctrinating your daughter into consumerism and capitalism, which are destroying and exploiting countless lives. Someone else said disgusting and embarrassing, idolizing the rich.
Mm.
I
I mean, yes, on all that. I mean, you can choose what you want to do as a parent, obviously. And I don't
Right.
think that woman is in America because she was saying some of the letters like another country might say them.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like, it's yes, that's a lot. Even if it's just supposed to be funny,
Right.
is it funny? That's I go back to this. I know it's supposed to be funny. When is it funny?
Is
Tell me when it's
it?
funny.
But I have a feeling it's not, because there are people that are like, yes, girl, do it. It's sort of like people who name their kids after like expensive things.
Yes.
And I'm like, there's a certain aspect of life that you want to teach your kids to, provide for themselves, to be healthy. But shouldn't you also teach your kids to live a fulfilling life and to not base your happiness around things?
Yes. I am having such a hard time with Maya with that, by the way.
Mm.
And I blame her dad. I mean, I
Oh.
will even say this to his face. Like, this is the thing about her dad. He likes stuff.
Right.
This man's got a lot of stuff. And as he's gotten older, the stuff is different, but it's still like that's just a part of who he is.
Right.
And that's apparently genetic because Maya loves stuff. And so it's a weird thing because that can be people's love languages. I know that like the love languages have kind of been debunked as not really something that's real, but I do think that there was some merit to them. And like gift giving can be a love language. Like some people really get appreciation from receiving or also feel that they show appreciation for another by giving a thing. Like
Mhm.
I've noticed this ever since Maya was little. She likes to give me little things, like either what she made them or she thought of me somewhere and she bought something. Like she loves stuff. And like I said, that's genetic. But it's weird because trying to teach her how to appreciate the intangible things like experiences and friendships, it's hard. You can't quantify it in like going to your room and looking at the number of rubber ducks that you got out of a claw machine.
Right.
But yet she's so proud of this rubber duck collection that she has gotten from the claw machine. Like it's a weird thing. And so I am having a hard time as a parent because those lessons aren't just easy like, oh, this is good and that's bad,
Right.
like I don't even know. Like I try my hardest and I've looked up stuff on how to have experiences and we do like, when we vacation or whatever, it's more the experience, but we got to go to that damn gift shop. Who gives up about the gift shop? But this girl gives up about the gift shop. So anyway,
I think
that's a
it's something that
tangent.
happens as you get older, because I can say
I think so.
I was a things person, but that came from me not having things growing up because I grew up so poor and going
Probably.
to like a upper middle class middle school and high school where people would get things and I would not get things. And so I'd be like, when I get older, I
I'm gonna
want
get
things. And so I wanted stuff. And I feel like, especially when we got here to Charlotte, and the first year we didn't like know anybody, and I was just coming into work, going home, didn't know anybody. It was cold. It was gray. And so I would just be online. And so that's when I started just like ordering stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think after a year of that, and then I think when we moved, and I'm like, why did I need this? What
stuff.
happiness did this shirt bring me?
It's a momentary thing. And
It
it's
is.
a dopamine hit. You're like, I have this thing that I wanted.
It's exciting when you order this like kitschy shirt with like some cute saying that you're only gonna wear once, but you're like, ooh, you get to like track it, you get to wait for it, and then it arrives. You can't wait to get home from work. You go get it, then you open it up, and there's all these emotional stages you go through of happiness.
It's a whole experience.
It's a whole arc. And then you wear the shirt once and you're like, what else can I buy? And so that's why I feel like I've learned that I'm like, all right, Do I really? So that's why a lot of times, like my TikTok shop cart, it's probably has 20 things in it. Because I'm like, all right, let's let it sit. And if I'm really passionate about it in like 3 or 4 days, then we'll buy it. And then usually I'll go back and I'm like, nah, I don't really need that. I don't really need that.
Yeah, you got to give yourself some time because sometimes you do think about it and you go back and you think and you're like, wow, I think I should get this because I can't let it go.
Right.
That's when you know. And I told my fiance that because he was trying to get himself a coat or something from Macy's and it was a little expensive, but it was like he had a birthday gift card or something and it was like a little more than the gift card. And he's like, I just can't justify like staying within the gift card. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna not get it. And then in a few days, same thing as you, Miguel. I was like, if you still can't stop thinking about this jacket, it's time to get the coat. Like,
Right.
are you gonna find a better one cheaper that you like as much, or is this going to be worth it? So you do have to weigh it out sometimes like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's more rewarding. Like there's this console desk thing that I wanted because we have like part of our living room in our townhouse. There's this big empty space that I haven't known what to put there. And then on TikTok Shop, I saw somebody post something about it, and I was like, that is what needs to go there. But then I'm like, wait a minute, am I
What
just
was
saying
it?
that?
Like a piece of furniture?
Yeah, it's a piece of furniture,
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
It's like one of those long, huge tables that you would put either behind a couch or up against a wall or
Oh, like a buffet table.
yeah, yes. I don't know what the word was. And it was like it's perfect. And so I was like, okay, let me wait a couple days. So I waited a couple days and then I went back to it. And I was like, I kind of like it still.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, let me send the link to Abe and see if he likes it because it's over $100 and we're trying to, save
Right.
our pennies for our summer vacation. And so I sent it to him and he was like, I like it. If you want to get it, get it. And I'm like, all right, let me wait 2 more days. And if I still feel passionately, I'm really trying to take this to heart.
Yeah.
And so I waited 2 days. And so last night I bought it. And so
That's
now
okay.
when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, where is it?
Yeah.
Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from?
What's going on?
Vanessa said, Miguel, I do the same thing. This is how I found out the limit of the amount of items you can have in your Amazon cart is 74.
Girl. Now hold on a minute. Girl, how you have 74 items and try to add more? I would lose track of stuff. I'd be like, what did I want?
Wait,
Why
I'm
did I want it?
curious. Do you keep things in your Amazon cart, Holly?
I don't. Well, actually, no. Sometimes I keep stuff in my cart because of my again with her things.
Stuff.
She got bored and she went on her iPad. She does not have the Amazon app, but she went to the Amazon.com website. And so she started she must have been bored one night. I don't know where she was, but she sent me like 8 to 10 Amazon links. I have to have this. I need this. I really want this. And I was like, I'm not getting this. She's like, no, please. Please. So I waited until we got paid the next time. This was probably about 3 weeks ago. And it was before Valentine's Day. I bought a couple of things and I gave her a couple of the things for Valentine's Day. One was like a little, like a plaque that had a cute saying on it. And another one was like, I don't even remember. But the rest of them I did buy. I had them in the cart for a while. And then I did buy them and I'm keeping them for Easter.
Oh, smart.
Because she's like, hey, what happened to those things? And I was like, I'm not getting you everything.
Right.
But also, like, bitch, you can't just be getting stuff at the end of January. Do you know what Margaret used to be like? My mother would be like, you get things twice a year, Christmas and your birthday, and Easter too, but she would like leave that out.
Right.
But like, by the way, my birthday and Christmas are the same freaking time. So like I went without for a long time. Easter, we would get some stuff, but she was for hard no on just getting things. And I'm such a fucking pushover that Maya will be like, I really need this. And I'm like, I guess.
I remember the one time
my cart's empty.
Oh, I have some items in mind. I remember the one time my mom bought me something that wasn't a birthday or Christmas. We were at Walmart. No, it was Kmart because we lived across the street from Kmart in Denver. And it was a Jurassic Park truck with a dinosaur. And I was like, because you always try to push the limits. And I remember being like, can I have it? And she was like, no. Can I have it? No. Can I have it? No. And then she was like, go get it. I almost shit myself. I was like, I remember like going home and this is like a core memory. I remember like just ripping open the box and I was like, I get something that's not Christmas? Ah!
I know.
I was so excited.
It's like my daughter doesn't get that because like we always want to do better for our kids. So
Right.
I'm just like, well, Margaret never let me have it. So I mean, I guess I'll let you have it. But now she's probably spoiled to shit. So I don't even know. But she is a good negotiator though, and I will let her negotiate because
it's a good lesson to learn.
It is a good lesson to learn. I was too afraid to ever say anything to my mom. I was never allowed to yell at my mom. I was not allowed to argue with her. And I did try a couple of times, but it was so terrifying because her no face, God, she was scary. She could be so scary to me. And then I was always mad at my stepdad and I could never say anything to him. And what it taught me, I was thinking about this in the shower, quick life lesson in the midst of all this. Instead of teaching me how to, advocate for myself or know how to, negotiate with people, whether that be for a job or a friendship or a partnership, a romantic partnership. What all of that taught me was it was a good lesson in how to take it all inside and bury my anger.
Right.
And just deal with it.
Right.
That's what it taught me. Now, on the outside, she was trying to teach me how to like be firm in phone calls and she's yelling at me. She's like, why aren't you better at this? And I'm like, I don't know. Well, I do know now because subconsciously, unconsciously, what you actually taught me is to put it all inside and not tell anybody about it. I was a better child for not being, outspoken or whatever. I was just good. I was obedient. And that's what it taught me. So I let Maya negotiate with me. I let her give me pushback. I let her get a little snappy with me sometimes. And then I'll be like, hey, I don't appreciate that. And she knows that, like, she can tell usually when I've had enough. And then she'll be like, okay. But I don't usually yell. And she'll negotiate with me. So she's got a festival going on at her school. And last night was the first night. We never go on Thursday nights. I'm like, it's a school night. You have dance? No. So she started this on Monday. She's like, can I please go on Thursday? And I'm like, no, you have dance. The next day, I didn't even really think much of it. The next day, she's like, please, Mom, I really want to go on Thursday. Can I just skip dance? And I'm like, you're not skipping dance. You made a commitment. No. Then by Wednesday, I guess I didn't realize how important this was to her until she came home from school and she's like, please, I am asking you for one more time. I'm like, Bernie Sanders? I am begging you one more time, folks. She was like, can I please just skip dance and go to the festival? And I was like, in my head now, it's rung 3 times as being clearly important to her. And then I remember this one time my mom wouldn't let me go to a roller skating party in 6th grade. And she's like, there'll be other ones. And there never were.
Oh.
And I was like, I discussed it with another mom friend. And I was like, all right, you can go. She was overjoyed. Then she's like, well, what time do I get to stay till? I'm like, probably 7. She's like, 7? That's it?
Oh.
I was like, okay, 8. You can stay until 8. Then she tried to give me pushback on 8. And we were at the dinner table. She's like, Mom, I only have a half day the next day. I don't even have a whole school. And so my fiance at this point is like, he's like, I kept quiet about this, but he's like, if you keep pushing and pushing after you've gotten what you want and you still keep asking for more, we're going to just take away the original thing.
Oh.
And I was like, he said it, but
I mean, you're like,
that's
well,
true. I mean,
I don't know,
if he
girl.
wants to be
You
there, but yes, I know that's right. I can't say all that. And so she shut up real fast about that. And then she found out that all her friends went home at 8 o'clock too. So,
see, there you go.
Anyway, long story for absolutely nothing, but
no, but I feel like that's just such a good lesson in teaching how to negotiate. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Holly and I, we have an agent for our careers.
Yes.
Because so many other it's very split down the middle where some people are like, I like to advocate for myself. I walk in with a stack of papers and this is how I justify myself.
They've done the research. They have all the stats. They know their worth and they are not going to back down from an employer telling them, no, we don't have the money. No, they're going to sit there and they will advocate for themselves.
And I'm like, I am so happy for you.
They're like, but why would you give away part of your money? Keep all your money and just negotiate yourself.
I'm like, no, girl.
No.
Listen,
No.
I am such a big believer in advocating for yourself, but then also realizing where your weaknesses are and where your blind spots are. So to me, in my mind, I'm like, why am I going to go negotiate with this person who literally is paid to just do that?
Yeah.
They sit on the phone and they negotiate with talent and talent agents on salary. Like, no, girl, I don't have the skills to do that.
I don't have those skills.
And you have to be able to remove your emotions from it as well. And I can't do that.
I can't take away them. I cannot. It's just, not only have I never learned it, like book wise, like I don't actually have those skills.
Right.
I'm not learned in that area, but just as a human being, I can't. Even if I had learned, I still probably couldn't do it. So that's why
it's just it's like I could advocate. Like if someone was like, "Hey, I need you to be an agent for another radio friend," I could probably do it because I could like remove my emotions from it. But when it comes to what we put our blood, sweat, and tears into, what I sacrificed my life for, oh no, I cannot not take it personally.
Well, because it's a personality driven industry,
right?
It's not like you're saying, "Oh, I have the skills to be an accountant."
Right.
And I want to negotiate my salary because here's my accounting things. That's not your personality. That's what you do.
Right.
When you're a radio personality, what you do is who you are. And so advocating for yourself, or I would imagine like a TV, any kind of like a media job like that, where it's like, you're you. How much do you want me? No, I don't want to think about
it. Absolutely not. So I have 7 items in my Amazon cart.
Are you gonna ever get them? Like, what do you do? What do people with Amazon carts full do with those?
So here, let's go down real quick. This will be the last thing before we head out.
Okay.
I have this like stupid stuff. I have this, but it's like stuff that I need.
Okay.
But not like right now. So there's this little cute little box that you can put next to your dryer for your lint. And it has like a little lint brush to where you can like get down in there. Because right now I have just a random Target bag hanging on the laundry room door where I put all the lint from the dryer. It has a little box, then you can get down in there. Because now I just stick my hands down in there. And I was like, well, this is cute. And it says lint bin on it. Then I have this little organizer for underneath the kitchen, underneath the sink, where you can organize all of the chemicals and stuff that you keep underneath there.
Oh.
Then I have this thing that I've been like doing some research on. It's called AG1 powder green supplement. Because being on Ozempic, I'm not eating as much, and so I want to make sure I get my actual nutrients in.
Right.
And then I have these little ramekins that I buy for condiments because we have a lot of condiments in our house. And then there's this
stuff, like I just feel like everything you're listing, except for the under the sink thing, is just more work. But go ahead.
No. And so then I have this face scrub that I need to buy, but I've been holding off because it's kind of expensive. And then this laundry bin that I want, and then I have this gift for Abe that I'm probably saving that for his birthday. That I won't say what it is, but I saw it a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, let me put it in the cart, and I'll save it for July.
That's good.
So, I mean, it's like some things for me, things for the house.
I know I can get carried away with things for the house. But then it's like, my thing is this just going to cause more dishes for me? Like in the end, can I not just put the condiment on the plate and not have to wash an extra dish?
I mean, you can, but it doesn't look cute though.
I know.
It doesn't look cute. I want it to look cute.
Presentation is everything, Holly.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I just take the lint and I walk out of the laundry room and go throw it in the trash.
Well, see, ours is on the 3rd floor, and so there's no.
You don't have a garbage up there or anything?
No.
Oh, that.
Because then I would either have to buy a lint box. See, I had to buy a lint box or a trash can.
Yeah.
So why not have a little box that says a lint box on it?
I love that, and I wish that I almost hate that my laundry room is right off the kitchen because it's sort of like the overflow staging area for shit we don't know what to do with in the kitchen. The top of the dryer is just full of stuff. I'm like, I couldn't even put that box anywhere. It would just add to the clutter that's already in. I got to go through.
Yes.
That's an unfortunate thing on my end.
And I do want to say a couple of comments that we have. Emma says, side note, Holly, I love your nails.
Thank you. I actually due to get them done. If you see there's some space, like probably this weekend I should get them done. I don't know if I'll have time, but my girl just does things. I was just sitting there and then she does this. I'm like, what is this turning into? And then I was like, oh, that's amazing.
That's what he said. My girl just does stuff. And then Matthew said, why am I the only one on here? Miguel, I think you're probably watching on the Hits 96.1 Facebook page.
And
Ain't nobody watching on there.
Nobody's on the Hits page.
If you would
except
like
for you.
to participate in the conversation with the other Platypus Posse members, I would suggest watching on the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel. That's where I see most comments coming from. But then you have Zinda, who's on the Miguel and Holly Facebook page.
And Teresa also.
And Teresa, that's right.
So Miguel and Holly Facebook or Miguel and Holly YouTube.
All right, we're out of here. Kelvin will be back on Monday. He went to Georgia to get his marriage license.
Woo!
For the ceremony happening in a few weeks. He'll be back on Monday, and we will see you all then. Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the